Hello and welcome to the grand final preview edition of the Bentley A&A Cricket Show. You've got myself, Adam Kane, and Adam Mickelson.
Adam, how are you?
I'm good, mate, but not as fired up as you this morning. I believe you want to get some things off your chest.
Oh, it's more clarification because I was unawares to what happened in the last game of the year between Mackie and Brighton Union. Kombathitos, I was surprised, and again, unawares because I didn't even know he didn't play against East Sandy, and I was told last week that he was rubbed out for 3 weeks. I think there was a bit of a stoush between him and Buddha, Damien Crotterful, which, look, that's fair enough. I know Buddha gives as good as he gets, so I'm sure, you know.
I heard he left him high and dry in the tribunal.
Well, that's what I guess I need to know as well, because to rub someone out for 3 weeks, you know, really the guy has to have murdered someone on the pitch. Basically, he needs to have picked out the stub and stabbed someone in the leg. For the tribunal, whoever it consists of, to rub someone out for 3 weeks, and that includes the final series or all of the final series, for some verbal altercation with another player. And I'm sure, look, it was a big game. Mackie needed to win to make the finals, and obviously Brighton Union needed to win to keep a top 2 spot. It was a big game, so obviously things are going to be said. And for the tribunal actually rub him out for 3 weeks is an absolute disgrace. And the people who are on this committee, this tribunal, I think should be reviewed. And I think going forward next year they should be sacked straight away, because obviously they're not in touch with the game, and they're. And again, I'm not too sure who the individuals are, but you know, I guess what happened here is Con's been left high and dry. I don't know what sort of recourse there is for Con and the Brighton Union Cricket Club.
I believe they're taking it to the VMCU.
Well, you know, they needed to cut it off at the pass, but that didn't happen, because at the end of the day, they've missed out on the finals, and West Bentley have come from nowhere and snuck in, so it's all too late for that. But I just think it's a disgrace that, you know, to rub Bathitos out for 3 weeks. And, you know, you've played Longmuir this year, you cop that, you know, there's always going to be people throwing comments your way, you go out, you know, and Buddha's copped it all his career, you know, and again, it's not Buddha's fault what happened, but, well, if you're saying you left him high dry at the tribunal,
that's what I've heard, but I guess, I mean, if every verbal altercation was taken to the tribunal and people were getting 3 weeks for what gets said, I reckon East Sandy wouldn't have a team fielded. But anyway,
again, kids' clothes is a fucking disgrace, and I can tell you now, if I was Brighton Union, I'd be making inroads into getting those 3 people, if it was 3 people on that tribunal, removed, and getting some guys who are actually in touch with what's happening on a Saturday. And I don't know who umpired that game, but surely they would have some common sense into trying to I guess, before the meeting was held, just to obviously explain to the tribunal, even during the meeting, that look, things were said, but that happens all year, and to rub someone out for 3 games come finals, or whether it's finals or not, is unbelievable. And you know, and from what I heard, it was 2 weeks, and then they turned it into 3 weeks because they wanted to get him out for the whole series.
Yeah, look, I'm sure the CMCA have a perfect explanation as to why that has occurred, and
it all comes down to consistency. That's what it is, and it's not being consistent with what's happened this year. Things I've said this year, you know, it's probably reportable. I've heard things being said against our players this year that are probably just he's saying what Con and what Buddha went through. So it's all about consistency, and obviously just to make a decision like that on the verge of the finals is absolutely unbelievable. And yeah.
Oh well,
that's my say.
Yeah, and unfortunately for Brighton Union, out in straight sets, so you could almost say it's a season wasted.
Well, exactly right. Look, they've had a good year. They didn't make the finals last year, and they've taken that next step. So hopefully they can do better next year. But Jesus Christ, you'd be screaming bloody murder if you're a Brighton Union Cricket Club right now.
Well, on that note, we'll go through the finals, and for Bentley A&A, week 1 was a fantastic result for the club. We had our third 11 in D grade, our fourth 11 in E grade, our fourth 11 were playing for a grand final, our third 11 were in a knockout final, and our under 16s were also in a knockout final in the A grade there. And all 3 teams won, which was fantastic. Just to wrap it up, Adam Stone in the thirds led the charge, making 108 out of 250. he was supported by Sam Wolf, who made 31, and I think there was a few scores in the 20s there as well. And even though Brighton Union were looking pretty strong, making, I think they were about 6 for 210, chasing the 250 with plenty of overs to go, and Cedric Jantz came in and picked up a couple of wickets to support Clem Wilson, who picked up 3 wickets as well. So A&A won by 17 runs, which was a great result, and it was matched in I guess tension and whatever else you want to call it in the fourth 11 in E grade final, where we were 9 for 137 batting first, and then we happened to get a 10th wicket partnership between Bob Dolman and Rob Lawford, and they took the score to 189 with Robbie Lawford top scoring with 47, and I guess that was a little bit. We got out of jail there and had a competitive score. And then that was followed up with Washington Park being rolled out 10 runs short, so all that for 179, which was a very exciting game to watch. James Coyne took 4 for 35. Obviously, he's better than E grade, and I hope that he proves that to everyone next season. But the old Raimondo, Des Falconer, who's changed his life, being in love, etc. He took 3 for 44.
Love.
Oh.
Des. I didn't know the 2 words could be used concurrently.
Oh, look, besides VB, no, there's actually another love in Desi's life. And yeah, look,
good on him.
Yeah,
good on him.
There's always someone for someone. And with Desi, he's actually prioritising, which is good, in that he's leaving the games early, the finals, to instead of watching the finals with his mates, he's actually spending some quality time with the missus. So
good on him, Des.
Well done, Des. Good on you. And the under-16s, I think A&A were, I think 4 for 230 odd, with Brodie Lawford and Ben Tiddy both retiring on 50 not out, and they defeated the opposition, who were rolled for 190. I think that was Bentley and Moorabbin West. So that was all out for 190, and Dylan Hemming again, 4 for 15, doing a great job with the ball. So we move into the preliminary finals, which just occurred recently, or just on the weekend just gone. Fourths won their spot into a grand final, so they had the week off. The third 11, however, they had to play Kingston Heath at the, I guess, the neutral ground of East Sandringham.
Now, just again on that, I wasn't at work Friday, so I've come in Monday and saw an email from the CMCA secretary to the effect that the ground or the rooms weren't going to be open, the canteen and the facilities weren't going to be obviously made available to the players, and only a section of the grandstand, I guess you want to call it, was going to be open. So that must have been disappointing for the guys there.
Oh, look, I mean, when you have A&A's ground vacant and you have Kingston Heath's ground vacant, you go to a ground where even East Sandringham didn't want to support the game, and Kim Pitt, I believe, made that aware to the CMCA executive. So as a result,
made what aware that they didn't want to host people at the ground.
Yeah, they weren't going to have people at the ground, so there was no reason to host the game there, in their opinion.
What a disgrace that is.
Well, the CMCA were I mean, there was a subcommittee that were adamant that a game had to be played at Chisholm Reserve, and so be it. I mean, like, there was a lot of people going back and forth to 7-Eleven down the road to get some kind of food while supporting the teams, and yeah, I mean, like, a few race fans were a bit disappointed there was no television to watch that. So, look, in my opinion, I think the CMCA made an error there, and I think a few words were said to those present on the weekend about
what's going on with this comp, Adam? What's going on with the CMCA, the committee? And
look,
I don't know. There's been some furphies in the last week.
A lot of people throw in the suggestion that people have their own club agendas at heart. That may or may not be true. It depends on, I guess, whether you can overcome that for the sake of what's best for the competition. And I guess some people, they can sleep better at night, some people can't. Anyway, on that game, Bentley A&A were chasing, well, actually they were batted first, and it's a bit of a slow day for the boys. Being 2 for 20 early on, a bit of a rearguard action needed to be taken, and Adam Stone again, along with Ryan Dolman, did that to put us in a position where we were only 2 down at tea.